On September 11th of 2018, a brand new but unknown game was released to the public, and it would take almost 4 years for one person to promote it and make it popular. After the positive review, it immediately drew in a bunch of players, but it would only be like this for a very short amount of time. But I can tell you right now that it wasn't deserved and should still be popular. In fact, it may still be better than some modern racing games today. The game I'm talking about is Rev //. Now I feel I should explain this game a bit better. So, the creator of the game, Orlando77. Orlando joined back in 2008, and the Roblox racing games at the time didn't have the same kind of detail and technology that current games have today. And it doesn't help that he felt that racing games that had no actual passion and thought put into them. So this pushed Orlando to learn and bring his own vision of the best Roblox car game to life. And in 2018, that is when Rev // saw the light of day. Now, not a lot of people still didn't even know what Rev // was, partly because it wasn't even in full release. It was still in its alpha stage. But that was until March 1st of 2021. It's Matrix made a video promoting the game and showing his first impressions on the game. And everyone in the comments were super supportive and loved this game. Matrix, there's only 100 players. 1 hour later, 500 players. Rev // is heck addictive. Even the tuning is like freaking Dirt Rally. Once you max a 200k car, you're like going zoom to the opponents. I really like the drifting physics in Rev // Rev // is cool. This game is straight fire. Can you keep playing this game, please? Thanks, I love the game so much. That game is sick. And it was reaching higher and higher player counts after the video got seen by more and more people, and people saying it reached numbers over 1,000. But as we know, this didn't last long. Now I know y'all want me to talk more about what the game has to offer and why I say it didn't deserve to die, so I will do that right now. This game is absolutely one of the best Roblox car games I have ever played, and seeing it with no players anymore really hurts to see because this game is just so unique. It had a gameplay that I don't think I've ever seen a Roblox car game have. Also, it is a very straightforward and simple game, but at the same time, it's complex. It's kind of like a game for people who want to feel like they have the intelligence for Midnight Racing Tokyo, but simply don't understand its complexity. Rev // is the simpler version of it. You have gear tuning, and when you see it, you expect a very complex set of bars and adjustments and stuff. But once you click on it, it's just one bar that you can easily adjust to your liking. And suspension stiffness and damping is also very simple and easy to adjust. And before you even click on anything, if you hover your mouse over it, it even explains to you how everything works and how to adjust it correctly. More on this game's gameplay, once you're in the game, there's no special cutscene or intro or anything to waste your time. You join the game, you're given some money for 3 options of a starter car, and you're ready to go. And once you grab your car and go to the races, you will have 2 orange circles. The one closer to you are cycling races, and the other one is a city drag race. Now let me tell you right now, these races are so unique, and they have 3 different types of races: asphalt, dirt, and mixed. One of my favorite races is definitely Triple Threat. You have to drive from the asphalt up onto a dirt trail which leads you onto a bridge, then at the very end you have to make a turn onto some asphalt and speed up and jump off the mountain to finish the race. And you have probably guessed it, if this game has different terrain races, you're going to need the right build for it. You can make different builds for different races. You can have an asphalt build, a off-road build, a drift build, or you can even make a all-surface build. And that's not all. This game will also tell you little bits of information about the car and will even show you where the engine is located. Now, customization is not great, but it's not bad. You can change the color of your car, change the color of your rims, and you can change the rim design, and you can use wings, although they are the same for every car. The wing options are still pretty decent though, but just reusing the same body options just feels pretty lazy. What was pretty exciting was that body kits were going to come to the game at some point, but the game was discontinued before we could see them come. Now, Rev // has a feature that I have never seen done before in any form in a Roblox game. That is their head-to-head feature. what you're able to do is go up to a player in their own car and it will give you the option to race them. And then you hold down E and the game will start a head-to-head race where the game will automatically set a random finish line somewhere random on the map, and you have to be the first person to get to it and win the head-to-head for a small little payout. This is such a sick feature, and no other Roblox games have done anything even close to this. So if you missed a race in the game, you can do a head-to-head or two to help pass the time. Unless another dev or someone sees this video, I don't think something like this will ever be seen again on Roblox. Now I want to talk about this game's lighting and scenery. Now I have no clue how to explain this, but the vibe this game gives off from its lighting and scenery is so warm feeling. Just when driving around, especially during the sunset or sunrise, the feeling and vibe that you get from the lighting, it just even feels like a game that was once popular. Now obviously we have seen better lighting in games, so I'm not saying the game's lighting is incredible, but with the help from the lighting, with the pretty decently detailed scenery, surely gives off such a nice vibe. Nighttime, on the other hand, just looks kind of generic, looks kind of like vehicle simulators lighting, and the standard daytime looks pretty modern as well. Next, I want to talk about the map as a whole. This is honestly such a good map. The city is of course not extremely detailed, but the layout is pretty good. But the mountain and tree areas is really where it's at. The trees make the areas feel way more like filled in, and a mix with all the off-road areas you can go on is so good. There is even a lot of jump areas you can take as well, which are also really fun to go off. Rev // has almost every other modern Roblox racing game beat 6 feet in the ground when it comes to forest and mountain areas. Now let me talk about this game's chassis. This chassis, I'm not even kidding, I think it is one of the best chassis I've ever seen. It feels amazing to drive around in this game. The smooth steering that the cars do just feels much more realistic than games like Driving Empire, Car Dealership Tycoon, Car Zone, Driving Simulator, and most other games on the platform. Rev's chassis does it so well, and the gravity in the game helps so much with the suspension and just feels so good to take turns. And the way the cars just smoothly go over bumps on bumpy road areas just feels really calming and relaxing. Now I want to mention a couple other things about the gameplay that I find really cool. Obtaining these cars. Now to obtain these cars, not only do you have to grind the money for the cars, you also have to grind for XP to level up to unlock these cars. I talked about this in my video about making the perfect Roblox car game, and this got a lot of mixed opinions, so this could be a personal opinion. But if you love Midnight in Tokyo so much, then I don't want to hear it. Speaking of which, grinding is actually about the same as MRT. It really feels like it takes the same amount of time to grind as if you were in MRT. Now the last thing I want to mention is when you are in a race. You will notice its UI has no race time system. And this is something that I really like. It's legit trying to tell you that its purpose is to be fun and not competitive. And it does its purpose so well. Now as for any other game, this game obviously has its flaws. But to be honest, not very many. The only flaws I found really are the breakables, which it literally acts as a wall and brings you to pretty much a dead stop. And there's this jumpy camera bug that happens when you're in the car. And the final flaw, which is the elephant in the room that I had ignored throughout this entire video. The car models. Now a lot of you guys are going to completely laugh at these models, while me personally, I think they look really good. I want to note that I don't think these are fully trying to be based off the real life cars. It's a mix of inspo from the real thing and original idea and designs. And I think they all look pretty decent. Although there isn't a whole lot of options, there's still a decent amount of cars. And sadly, there is some kind of big jumps in those levels since the game died before more could be added. Having fictional models in the game isn't even a bad thing. That's just way less limitations and risk put onto the cars. But players just care so freaking much about detail and how models look, and it completely throws away such good opportunities for super enjoyable games like Rev // Now, a lot of you skeptical viewers are going to question, if Rev // is so good, then why did it die? Well, let me first explain why it even maintained an audience and got as popular as it did. The reason why Rev // got so popular was because the games back then were just not as unique. Every game was just reusing the same concept and were just competing on which looked the best or which was more detailed than the other. If Rev // wasn't as unique as it is, easily understandable as it is, or didn't include such unique things, then it wouldn't be so popular. Rev // was made to be enjoyable and unique. no matter how it looks or how detailed it is. It wasn't made to compete with detail and looks. And unfortunately, with the car community we have now, that's exactly why it died. Because people care way too much about how it looks, and absolutely couldn't care less about how fun you make your game unless it has good looking and detailed models. Which is why games like Driving Empire, Car Dealership Tycoon, Midnight Racing Tokyo, Car Zone are all as popular as they are. Because people were too greedy for detail. 2019 is only a year after the game came out, and wait for it, was already released and getting tons of love. And 2022 was only a year after it got tons of recognition, and Drive Road had came out as well. And Rev // was just unable to compete with these quickly growing games. When you get at least 3 other people with you, the game just feels so alive again and could not feel any more enjoyable. The game died so soon that it couldn't receive the features and improvements that could have made it even bigger than it was at its peak, and let alone could have even reached concurrent players up in the 3,000s. But actually, it isn't entirely the community's fault. Rev // was having a performance issue regarding a memory leak. The programmer of the game spent day and night trying to locate it, and it was crashing servers. The programmer of the game kept searching and searching and just couldn't find it, and it caused him to take a break from working on Rev // At this point, the game was lacking updates, and the devs were lacking motivation to keep going. They stopped to see where the game was at, and if it was even worth putting more time and investing into the game, which led up to the unfortunate answer of no. So they made the tough decision to announce that Rev // will be discontinued, and on August 22nd of 2023, they did just that. But its short life of popularity was because people don't like enjoyable and unique games. Rev // was and still is an incredibly overlooked masterpiece that could have had so much potential. It is an amazing game still to this day, and I will never forgive the Roblox car community for killing it. But who knows, maybe the new game that they're working on will be the ultimate comeback.